Krusty Krushers versus MicroFish. So these two teams have been on entirely different trajectories this season. Krusty Krushers have been dominant through and through. MicroFish have been struggling all season. We will see how this goes. It's so interesting that this is a roster that is doing very well compared to this one. I must say. We'll see how this goes, though. Could go either way, in my opinion. Probably going to be reliant on whatever that damage bot is for MicroFish. As for this Krusty Krusher squad, they have seen lots of success, only struggling really against two other squads in the league. That was Logie Swords and Rush Hour, I believe, are their only two losses at the moment. Two teams you really expect to lose against when you're going up against them. So we're going to see that Sombra, not an ideal candidate whatsoever for MicroFish, unfortunately. Zarya on the other side is terrifying, though, as her ult doesn't really mess anything up with Krusty Krushers, so very fine tank for them to have. We will see, though. Can MicroFish secure a dub here? Rocking that Mauga squad. Of course, he has been struggling ever since his first championship in Season 1. It's not quite been the same. Alright, first attack coming out here for MicroFish. They are looking for that Mercy. Mauga gonna jump in on him. Does get hooked. Junkrat gonna be able to take out Soj. Mercy not able to get the res, and here we go, MicroFish. Very quick first offense here. Looking good so far for them. Krusty Krushers get capsized a little bit there. See if Krusty Krushers can get back into this one. Very blistering offense here so far. Not bad at all. Junkrat gonna take out that Moira and the Mercy. Junk gonna go down. And it looks like MicroFish should eventually just push through this one. So they're doing great here against Krusty Krushers. A lot of other teams have struggled against this squad. However, MicroFish looking quite good here so far. Sombra just going to fall down to her own aggression. Mauga going to be able to remove that Moira. Mercy going to go for the res here. She does get it. Comes the Riptire, though. Is going to grab two. MicroFish looking to keep this going as the Blade comes out and gets the Mercy. Going to help find the Soj, too, probably. Yep. Genji doing a great job. Blistering fast time bank here. Sombra, the only character not currently on an overbought roster. And right now she's looking fine here. 680. I mean, okay. Has been getting those hacks for her team, though. Soj able to remove the Genji. Comes the cage. The lamp going to help him, as well as the amplification matrix. However, not going to be quite enough from the BAP there to save his Mauga. Eventually, Krusty Krushers are looking like they're going to win this fight. Sorry, gonna fall at the end there, but is it enough? Here comes the EMP. Genji gonna get on this Mercy. Can he find the kill? No, he can't. He's gonna get capped by the Soj. Roadhog able to take out Sombra here. Mauga gonna get kind of abused by this Hog ultimate. However, he is basically immortal. And it is looking like Krusty Krushers have regained a little bit of composure here on this first map. MicroFish, on the other hand, looking a little bit discombobulated in comparison to how they started. They will find that Sojourn, so good start there. Here comes the Riptire. Can it get more value again? Might find the Mercy. It is going to find the Mercy and Moira, so huge Riptire coming out from the Junkrat. Gonna continue pushing on this Christmas-themed King's Row. Or maybe not. Junkrat gonna fall here. Sorry, gonna go down next. Mauga gonna be able to sustain and finish off that Roadhog with the help of his Sombra. So MicroFish just gonna continue pushing forward here. We will have to see if they can finish this map off. Quite a big time bank to work with here. Soj gonna have that ult. Moira has Cole. Zarya has an ult that she will not be using, as we do know. Some trades favoring MicroFish here. Oh, never mind. Genji able to take out two, and MicroFish just going to complete the map here on Krusty Krushers, so that is the start of something here for MicroFish. This team has had its struggles, despite the caliber of the roster all season long. However, right here and right now, they look pretty good. They lost to Moldy Milkers last week, and Moldy Milkers, that was their... I believe that was their first victory all season? Yeah. So as you can see, MicroFish haven't exactly been stellar this season. However, on the other side, Krusty Krushers have been. But right now, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between these two squads. Honestly, I'm surprised how much better MicroFish looks right now and how much lower tier Krusty Krushers looks in this matchup. They look like they're on about the same playing field. This team did beat my squad. Krusty Krushers did when I had Ash on my roster. I would be interested to see how a rematch goes between us. Of course, that will only happen if I make playoffs. At the moment, though, I believe I have almost clinched. This MicroFish roster is the only person who really has a chance of taking that playoff spot away from me. I think if they go like 4-0 out and I lose my last three, then maybe they can make it. Okay. Here comes Krusty Krushers. They are able to remove two quite quickly here. However, on the other side, picks also happening for MicroFish. Roadhog able to take out one. Going to be fighting this Mauga alone on point. I believe Mauga actually wins this. He will. Here comes the res, though. So Roadhog's going to be back. Mauga's going to go down. And this will eventually lead to Krusty Krushers taking this first point on King's Row. As the offense looks pretty solid here for Krusty Krushers as well. So we'll have to see. This King's Row is anything but over. Ogre. Krusty Krushers, one of the most support-loving teams in Overbots this season. They've had some decent success, too, with Moira and Mercy. I was surprised by that. Moira going to go down here. Or Moira going to bring Sombra down. Soj able to take out Bap as well. Hog going to be able to remove that Genji. Zarya going to get the junk. And Malga will eventually fall here to the Soj. So Krusty Krushers just going to keep pushing through MicroFish. Despite the excellent offense from MicroFish, this could still easily go Krusty Krushers' way. Could go to extra innings here. Especially with how this looks on the offense right now. They are looking nigh unbeatable on offense. Krusty Krushers going to be rounding this corner. Try to slot this into the second checkpoint of this map. Genji getting in a little bit deep. He's probably going to fall here. Bap already dead. Genji going to go down too, and that is looking like another Krusty Krusher fight victory on this offense. Has been stellar thus far. Complete reversal of what we saw from earlier in this map. Both teams having blistering paces. 5 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock here. MicroFish going to have to come up with something big here to hold on this third point. Sombra's probably going to die in the back. Yep. I did hear all of that happening. So, not an excellent fight to engage here for MicroFish. Malga getting in very deep. However, Hog getting in deep on the other side. So both tanks could feed a little bit here. Mercy actually goes down. Malga will eventually fall though. And Hog's able to pick up the BAP. So Malga not going to amount to too much in the Blade. Also struggling to get too much value other than that Moira. And Krusty Krushers are still pushing. And they have a monster time bank to work with here. It is looking like, at long last, Krusty Krushers will push this thing in. Comes to the Riptire. The BAP window comes out. EMP not going to find too much. Junkrat Tire is going to go down. And Malga almost sends himself off the map. He barely catches himself. Lamp does come out. However, unfortunately, Sombra already gone. Bap getting very low. He's going to fall to the Roadhog. And it looks like Krusty Krushers are going to finish this thing with a monster amount of time. So despite MicroFish's success, they are still in a hole here. Maybe this is the caliber of the rosters that we were more expecting to see. They are going to be pulling out the Ashe. I'm not sure if I like that more or less than the Sombra. We'll see if they stick to that swap. So far, MicroFish and Krusty Krushers seem like a great matchup here. Seems like really either of these teams could come out on top. Yep, we're going to be seeing that Ashe. See how much value she can present for this squad. On the other side, going to be sticking to that Zarya. They've been sticking to her for this entire King's Row. Put up a little bit of a defense here. And then a solid offense, and Krusty Krushers can take map 1. However, on the other side, MicroFish just need to do enough with what your time bank gives you, and then have a pretty decent hold. Very winnable for either side here. Of course, from what we expect, Krusty Krushers have been the better roster all season, so you would anticipate them to pull this one out. Have to see if that happens, though. The Dynamite comes through. Is it going to get any damage off? No, it won't. Okay. Genji goes in pretty deep here. He is on this Mercy. However, Bap's going to be the first to fall. Mercy does go down, however. Soj and Hog going to make quick work of the rest of the squad there, and Krusty Krushers putting up a good first defense so far. League's better than the first time around. MicroFish gonna regroup here. They only have a few more opportunities to get into this one. Probably just 2. Maybe 3. Naga going in pretty deep here. He's looking for this Mercy. He does pop that bubble immediately. Zarya's going to be very well charged. Soj able to remove Junkrat. However, Ash is able to pick up Mercy, so some trades here. Looks like it's favoring Krusty Krushers, though, and that will be another fight win, so probably going to see maybe 2 more fights, maybe just 1. And then Krusty Krushers are only going to have to win 1 offense to secure this map 1. And unfortunately, MicroFish, man, they had such a good offense to start this thing. Really looked like the momentum was in their favor, and now it looks like they're floundering quite a bit here. Great first pick from Ash. Can they find anything else, though? Unfortunately, everything is so low on both sides. Okay, Junkrat able to pick up 2, but it's not going to be enough. And I believe that does just mean Krusty Krushers are going to give 0% over on the second offense to MicroFish. So, in a very good spot to pick up a map 1 lead for Krusty Krushers. There's going to be 1 more fight, though, so there will be 3 fights. However, can they get the touch here? Mauga able to remove Mercy. Wait, here comes MicroFish. They get 2. Ash able to get Moira. Ash also able to get Hog. And, oh my word, MicroFish did it. Okay, so it will be winnable. Unfortunately for them, though, they have to complete this whole map in overtime now. And a full respawn did happen for Krusty Krushers, so really going to be dependent on them sitting on this payload. If they get off the payload for even a second, it's probably over. And if they want to win this map, they're going to have to push this thing pretty far. But if they do, ooh, that's very good for them. The supports are coming in from a bad angle. However, Genji, his blade getting kind of stuck. Are they on the payload here? They are on the payload. Here comes the Riptire. Picks up 2. MicroFish have a chance in this one. Can they take a map off of Krusty Krushers here to start this thing? Would be huge for them. Mercy's going to go down here. Naga able to knock over the Hog. They do get off the payload, though, unfortunately, so they are going to have to do a similar full hold here now. They were winning that fight. Unfortunately, they could have kept pushing that thing, but, man, that kind of sucks. So still very winnable for Krusty Krushers. If they come in and win a fight immediately, it's probably over. However, on the other side, MicroFish, you do have an opportunity. That last fight, that Mauga touch, I think his touch was literally given to him by the Hog, funnily enough. Was able to turn that fight in their favor and get a little bit of progress. So now it is a winnable map instead of just a drawable one. They do have to hold them for 3 minutes and 36 seconds, though, so quite a bit of time to work with for Krusty Krushers. Going to stick to this Ash on the defense for MicroFish. They did have it on the offense as well. We'll see if it works out for them here. Of course, we did see MicroFish flounder against Moldy Milkers last week, which was just very odd. Very odd showing. I think there was a lot of death matches in that series, so it got a little bit chaotic. Or there's something like that. Anyways, here comes Krusty Krushers on this first offense. Or second offense, excuse me. They really only need to win maybe 2 fights. And the map is theirs. They have a lot of time to do it too. So we'll see. Sojourn taking a little bit of an off angle here. She is on this Bap. Bap is going to go down immediately, and Ash able to remove Moira, but Soj getting 2 more, and that's probably just going to be it. So map 1 probably going to go Krusty Krushers' way. There's a massive time bank still exists for this squad. There will be 1 more fight, though. 1 more opportunity for MicroFish. However, as the payload does move out, all they have to do is get past this choke to win. See if a little bit of a spawn camp can happen here. Or if they will get stifled in their approach. Here comes Amalga. He's going to look at the Zarya. Go into her immediately. However, Genji just immediately gone, and that is looking like Krusty Krushers proven why they are one of the top squads in this league against MicroFish right now. They only got a little bit farther to push this thing, and I think that is just it. So Krusty Krushers taking map 1 in this thing. MicroFish made it very close. Honestly, if they kept pushing, they had a very reasonable opportunity to win this thing, but they just got off the payload in OT. So Krusty Krusher is going to take map 1 here. They only need 2 more to secure that 3-0. I think this matchup might even lock Blazing Magi into playoffs. Mathematically speaking. Let me go check. Maybe not. Anyways, we're going to a deathmatch. Horizon Lunar Colony. Loser Colony? Horizon. I think it's like 2 more maps from Blazing Magi clinching. So after this week, Blazing Magi could be clinched. This will 100%, however, clinch for Krusty Krushers. I don't think AI has the map score to get back into that race, even if both teams suffer a lot of 3-0s and give out a lot of 3-0s. I am pretty sure anyways. I didn't actually do the math, but just from the eye test. 2 Junkrats is crazy, though. The Rhine on the other side, though, is also crazy. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Great start for MicroFish. Immediately getting 2 kills there. Ryan able to remove Genji. But man, this is looking like a MicroFish map. The double Junkrat is a crazy work. Crazy work of art. Malga able to remove the Moira. Roadhog going to be able to find one of the Junkrats. This is chaotic. This is chaotic. BAP is probably done. Well, maybe not. Yes, BAP is done. MicroFish so far in the lead here. However, Ryan's putting in some work for Krusty Krushers right now. Double Junkrat, so funny. They just keep 8. That's, oh my gosh, they're up to 9. Oh my gosh. MicroFish are looking great here on this deathmatch so far. With this double rat comp. It is very funny to witness too. I mean, Krusty Krushers are definitely not out of this, but the chaos of these deathmatch maps are always funny to witness. Alright, Junkrat able to remove Roadhog. Mercy going to pull off the res, actually, so they're going to erase that one. They will take out that Rhine, though. Here comes the Malga ultimate. Going to be able to find both the supports, and man, oh man, MicroFish fully taking over this deathmatch. Roadhog still alive, doing his thing, but might be too little too late for him. He will go down to the Junkrat spam. 16-9, a 7-point lead here for MicroFish. However, Genji going to fall to that Rhine pin. Moira going to be fallen to the trap. Mercy going to get that res off, though. Does erase that one. Krusty Krushers getting back into this thing. They are going to be able to find both Junkrats and that BAP. So only a 3-point lead now for MicroFish, despite how this thing initially started. And Krusty Krushers looking to pull this one back. Double Junkrat coming through here. Oh. BAP going to be able to remove Mercy. Sojourn fighting this Junk. She will fall. Ryan Pin didn't find him too much. He got trapped out of it. He will go down to the Genji, and MicroFish still leading this one. Doing a great job. Roadhog and Malga fighting. Eventually the hog will fall. And another res. Gonna erase another kill here. So it's only a 3-point lead despite all the kills, because this Mercy has actually been getting quite a few reses off, it seems like. Still a fairly close one. Despite all of the damage coming out of MicroFish. And the lack of ults being used by Krusty Krushers. Roadhog versus Malga. This almost certainly will go Malga's way. Roadhog gonna push him out. So many low targets on MicroFish. They're eventually gonna start falling here. Not ideal here for MicroFish, as Krusty Krushers are getting very close to being back into this one. It's only a 3-point difference. Junkrat gonna go down, and Malga gonna be the last one to fall, and this thing's nearly tied up now. They're gonna swap to the Widow. I don't like this. Might have been the biggest throw of MicroFish history. Shatter comes through, gonna find that Genji. Comes the Sojol. Widow gonna immediately fall to the Rhine pin, and all of a sudden Krusty Krushers are in the lead here. Soj able to remove a few more threats here. Soj able to remove that BAP. Genji getting real low. He is gonna fall to Soj. And honestly, the swap to Widowmaker might have just messed up everything MicroFish worked for, as I think Junkrat would have been a much better pick to stick with throughout. But now it's looking like Krusty Krushers are going to go up 2-0 in this series, as they do stick to this Rhine, and the Rhine has been a great boon. 35-24. Only 5 kills needed. Widow's going to be one of them. Junkrat getting very aggressive. Does he go down here? He does. Malga, half HP. He will fall too. Only 2 kills remaining here. This thing is more than likely over. They do swap to the Hanzo, but that'll be the last kill. Krusty Krushers going up 2-0 in this one, and man, it looks so winnable. 2 maps in a row for MicroFish, but both times they just completely dropped the ball. That time they swapped to Widowmaker, it really messed them up. Last time, they honestly just had a worse defense, so they were on Sombra for their defense too, and it just didn't work out. So, man, all right, Rialto. So going to end here on an escort, unless MicroFish makes a little bit of a comeback. But so far, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Looks like Krusty Krushers just barely beat out MicroFish every single time. MicroFish have had their share of struggles this season. Obviously, after this week, they might not even have to worry about playoffs anymore, so there is that. As for Krusty Krushers, they are very likely a playoff team, although they have to look forward to facing off against Logi Swords in their first set, which isn't exactly one anyone wants to be in. Just like my squad currently is in playoff position, and we will be playing against Rush Hour, and that is a team that is I frankly am thinking is going to absolutely shred my team to bits. Like, they already did it once in regular season, so I don't expect my team to go very far in playoffs, but I'm happy that I finally made it. Or at least I think I'm going to make it, barring crazy shenanigans. Alright, Sojourn. Going to be able to remove this BAP immediately, and the Genji. Junkrat going to take out Roadhog. However, Sojourn just immediately... Man, she is a menace to society. They do have double Junkrat again. Big boops happening here, though, by the Junkrat. And Mercy takes herself out, so MicroFish able to push through here, eventually. Despite the heroics by that Soj. Soj was on my team for the first 2 seasons of Overbots. Honestly, one of my favorite bots. She is a very good Overbot, for whatever reason. Her right clicks are very clean. Even her left click is pretty clean despite being a projectile with a bot. Malga able to remove that Roadhog. Good start here for MicroFish, and they're just going to keep on pushing this thing. So, it's looking like so far so good. They are just going to keep on moving. Next matchup we do have is Rush Hour versus Logie Swords. That is, you don't want to miss that one. That's going to be probably a guesstimate of what the finals are going to be. Wow, Roadhog just it's probably going to be like the finals. Wow, Junkrats are going crazy in the kill feed. They do just step off the point, but they literally just killed like the entire enemy team, both of them. Okay. So, no, MicroFish not out of this series yet. This double Junkrat look has been excellent whenever we see it from them. But yeah, I would not want to miss out on Logie Swords versus Rush Hour, 2 of the best teams we have in Overbots. Of course, Logie Swords did just suffer their first loss to Blazing Magi. Oh no, wait, second loss? Was that their first or second loss? That was their first loss. Anyways, yeah, you don't want to miss that matchup. That's going to be a good one. This one in front of us has been pretty good too. These teams seem very evenly matched. Now we're going to run over that Roadhog. And it looks like MicroFish might be able to go for the full map completion here. There will not be a touch here, so MicroFish able to get this thing in despite losing their BAP. And it looks like we're going to continue to see this thing move, maybe? We'll see. Mercy does not go down, Malga goes down, so actually, never mind. There will be a little bit of a halt here. In progress. Krushers able to win this one. And me, oh my, oh me. Krushers looking for a 3-0. MicroFish, on the other hand, looking to start a second reverse sweep attempt of today. AI almost reverse swept me. Weren't able to quite get the job done, though. Coliseo went very heavily in Blazing Magi's favor at the end there. Krusty Krushers are looking to halt them right here and now, it looks like. As they won these last 2 fights pretty convincingly. Trying to end this thing on Rialto in a 3-0 fashion. It's probably what this squad wants to do. However, MicroFish, on the other hand, from the matchup we've seen so far, they could very easily turn this thing around into a reverse sweep. Just a few more things go their way. Junkrat did get that trap kill on the Mercy. Soj able to remove BAP, though. And the Junkrat falls to Hog, so Krusty Krusher's gonna win another one. It's Roadhog. One of the best bots we've had throughout all 3 seasons of Overbots. Consistent top contender. However, he has yet to receive a crown. Bastion, Junkrat able to remove Moira, but is it enough? Mercy gonna go down here, so looks like Krusty Krushers are eventually going to get pushed through here, I think. Yep, they should be. Only Ramatra up here, and now MicroFish are going to finally start moving this on the third point. If they touch, that is. Of course, as we know, sometimes they don't like to touch the payload. Meep. Meep, meep, meep. Comes to the Riptire. Mercy Soja and Moira are going to fall here. So MicroFish looking to complete this map. We don't see too many Rialto map completions. So it would be interesting to see if they could stop Krusty Krushers from taking this thing as well and win this thing. So MicroFish have an opportunity now to win Rialto right here and now. They just have to have a decent hold here and stop them on that third point. More than likely is where you get held up if you do lose this. But on the other hand, Krusty Krushers, they just want to blister through this thing and go for round 2. We will see, though, MicroFish giving themselves an opportunity here to come back into the series. Quite a good push. Meow. Decent defense thus far for MicroFish. However, eventually they are all going to fall here. Krusty Krusher's going to start moving this thing. Sojourn getting a few picks at the end there. Can MicroFish hold this Krusty Krusher squad? Right here and now. It's going to have to start on this map, so. The Queen coming out with that hog is quite a terrifying matchup. They do still have their double rat combo coming through for them. Let's see here. Bap getting very, very low. Mercy also getting low. However, so both supports are going to fall. All of the supports are dead. Soj able to take out one of the rats. Oh, it looks like it's too little too late here for Krusty Krushers, and eventually MicroFish are going to come out on top of this one. And I believe the rest of Krusty Krushers should back out before, yeah, they won't push into that. So, a whopping 2 minutes knocked off the time bank. Yep. Krusty Krushers have so much to go. MicroFish gonna win that fight fairly convincingly. They do shut down the Sojolt as well. And it looks like MicroFish are just gonna keep on holding on to this thing, so they might be able to take this map, tie us up 1 or 2, or not tie us up, but go up 1 map and be 2-1. Get themselves back into the series. Might be looking at another reverse sweep scenario. Where one team is trying to push for a reverse sweep. Roadhog able to take out that Genji. Gonna push in pretty deep here. Soj able to remove the junk. And it looks like Krusty Krushers are probably gonna win this fight. Maybe. Yeah, as Bap goes down here, Soj putting in the work and the hours. She's taking what's hers. One of the top DPS we have in this league. Taking it to him. And this will actually be the first season where Bastion will not be in a playoff squad, as Notif Unks are already eliminated. And they are the Bastion squad. Here comes the Riptire. It's going to get immediately eviscerated, both of them. Both Riptires just gone. Sojourn able to remove Genji. Bap going to get that Mercy. Moira's going to fall here to the Mauga, so MicroFish trying to make something work here, but Krushers, they have the number advantage at the moment. Probably result in them just winning this eventually. It takes a little bit of time, though, with this choky fight. Can be rough to push through these things with bots sometimes. Lamp does come out. Mauga's able to remove the Soj. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, as Bap eventually will fall to this Junker Queen. And eventually, Krusty Krushers will continue moving this. So MicroFish, opportunities are dwindling to stop Krusty Krushers. On the other side, Krusty Krushers in a similar boat where you could, if you lose a fight, it's going to be really rough, but if you keep winning, you're chilling. And with the way the momentum is going right now, it feels like Krusty Krushers are going to start pulling away with this one. We'll see, though. As now they are probably... Actually, I don't know if they have enough space to slough this in yet. They might get one more touch. They will get one more touch. Mauga's already out of the spawn. So yeah, they will touch this thing. I think. Yep. 2.6 meters. One more opportunity for MicroFish. If they shut it down here, this could be a huge swing. Huge Junkrat. And that actually could be the map. So this is the little momentum. I think that was talking about losing one fight for Krusty Krushers would be bad, but at the same time, it felt like they did have a lot of momentum going into that, but they weren't able to secure that fight. So now you are in a rough spot where you only have maybe one fight, because it's just such a long road back. Might be able to get two if they die quick enough. No, they're just getting one, guys. So all going to be on this fight right here and now. This will be the only clean fight they get. Riptire going to be immediately dealt with. Junkrat going to go down. So great start for Krusty Krushers. And it looks like Krusty Krushers are going to push through this thing. Mercy's getting very low, though. Her going down is not great for them. If she does, Genji's going to be the next to fall, though. Junkrat getting very low on the outside looking in. However, he's not going down. He will eventually go down. Okay. This other Junkrat also getting very low. He's going to fall. They are on the payload. As long as Mercy stays on this thing, they should be able to slop this thing into the checkpoint. Bap going to be back, but he's very low. Do they stay on the cart? They're getting off the cart. They're getting off the cart. They're getting off the... They're not touching. They're not... Oh, they are touching. Okay. Here comes the Riptire. Going to go for this Roadhog. They're not touching. They are touching. Sojourn barely got the touch there, I think. Not touching again. Roadhog barely touches it. Oh, Moira got yeeted. And that's going to be it. So, MicroFish able to take a map here. See if they can keep this momentum going, or if Krusty Krushers will shut them down in the next map. Has been an interesting story so far today. Lots of close series. And by lots, I mean the first two. It's lost. It's lots for overbots, as we know. Oh, Numbani, why do we have so many long maps in today's rotation? Okay. Another hybrid, man. If you saw my series with AI, there were 3 escorts back to back to back. And now this one has an escort and a hybrid. Didn't it have 2 escorts? No, it had King's Row, and then it had a death match. So no, it had a hybrid and an escort, and now it's having another hybrid. So 2 hybrids. They are going to pull out the Tracer. I think that is an excellent pick. I think Tracer is a pretty solid DPS. Tracer Genji going to put in a lot of work here, I think. On the other side, however, stuck with Doom, so not exactly a great pickup for Krusty Krushers. This could be winnable for MicroFish if they want to get back into the series. Really, they could tie it up right here if they win Numbani. Momentum of this series has been all over the place, though. Kind of an odd charge by the Mauga, and it looks like Krusty Krushers is going to be very dominant in this first fight. Okay. Another fight coming out here. MicroFish looking to claim another map in this series. On the other side, Krusty Krushers looking to shut this thing down while they still can. Mercy going to go down, though. Great start for MicroFish. However, BAP falling on the other side is going to halt things a little bit here as Krusty Krushers start to take over this fight. And it looks like Krusty Krushers are going to win this fight. Just barely. Not really. He was kind of dominant. But Mercy falling first wasn't a great sign. We're going to see a few more pushes coming out from MicroFish, but eventually they might just have to throw in the towel. As this could very easily be a 3-1. Doom removes that BAP. Junk gonna go down next. Mauga and Genji gonna fall, and Tracer going to be the last one down. And this has been very, very difficult for MicroFish. So I'm thinking this is just the 3-1 right here. I think this is where MicroFish are throwing in the towel, kind of. First 2 maps were very close, excellent maps. Rialto was actually fairly dominant in favor of MicroFish. However, this Numbani looks like a complete different story thus far. Comes the Soj ult as well as the Hog and the Doom. The Lamp comes out. It is going to save a few members of MicroFish for now. Here comes the Riptire. Could be massive. Only finds the Soj though, and that will just be it. So only a couple more fights going to be able to come out from MicroFish. And they do have a few ults to work with though, so maybe they could do it. Didn't realize Krusty Krushers just kind of used everything, and MicroFish actually didn't use much of anything, so. Blades online, Pulse Bomb's online, Cage is online. There's a pretty good chance here, actually. Although Mauga got very low. He is going to use the Cage on the Doom, however, Soj already took the BAP out, and oh boy. Soj going to take out another one, and that is just going to be it. So only about one more fight coming through here. They do have the window. They do have the blade still. They do have the pulse bomb. An opportunity does present itself here for MicroFish, but it's going to be hard to get in. You only got 30 seconds on the clock. Any misplay could spell the end of this map. Numbani looking very dominant for Krusty Krushers. Here they come. Comes the blade. Gonna get hooked. Goes down to half HP. Is he gonna fall here? He will. The lamp comes out. Bap gonna get hooked in. Mauga able to find Doom. MicroFish. Close in this one. It is a 2v2 on point here. Mauga versus Doom. And it looks like they're actually going to be able to eventually find it in OT here. So just when I was kind of hoping this series would almost be over, MicroFish going to take this first point, make it a little bit longer for me. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here. This will probably be the last match I do today. I have been very lazy on my matches. Sorry about that, everyone. I've just not been feeling great lately. Bap gonna go down. Genji gonna fall. Mauga gonna push through that Moira. Mauma gonna go down. Tracer gonna fall. And it's looking like a few more pushes certainly could come out here for MicroFish, but me oh my, has this been a rough map. Okay, for them. Tracer coming out the top here. She might drop down on this Mercy. Oh, actually, she will. Look at that. Tyre gonna get destroyed by Soj though. However, Genji able to pick her up on the back end of things here, and it's looking like MicroFish should just push through here eventually. Just a matter of time here. Junkrat is going to fall, though, to that trap. Genji going to be able to take out that Roadhog. Moira going to go down. And eventually MicroFish going to start pushing this thing again. Ooh, Mauga Mirror coming out here. That's not exactly what you want to see if you're MicroFish. Only 60 seconds on the clock here, though. So, let's see if they can get anything done or if they are just going to fall over here. The big old slam comes in from the Mauga. And going to be able to take out that Tracer. So, it looks like Krusty Krushers are going to be right back into this one. Only 30 seconds left here for MicroFish. Genji going to fall. And that is looking like it is probably just going to be it. Only 12 seconds left. Bap going to be the first thing to fall here. Junkrat getting very, very, very low, but he does get healed up. Mercy going to fall, but Mauga's already gone. Trades seem to be favoring Krusty Krushers at the moment. And no touch is going to come through, so that is just going to be a MicroFish get held up on the second point. Almost looked like a full hold, however they do get a little bit of progress, but now all Krusty Krushers have to do to claim a 3-1 is kept that first point and just get around that corner on Numbani here. So MicroFish really put their best foot forward, but not quite enough to get more than a map. Maybe. We'll see. We could see a full hold. If they pull out the Bastion here, there's a chance. Or the Torb. We'll see though. Don't think we're going to see a Bastion or a Torb. Yeah, they seem pretty set on that Tracer. Okay. Mauga gonna be in here again as well for Krusty Krushers, so we will see that mirror once more. As we already know, Krusty Krushers, they don't have to do that much on Numbani to take this thing. Here comes Roadhog. Good start here for MicroFish. However, it does get rezzed and Bap falls. So, never mind. Oh. Yep. Looks like Krusty Krushers are going to win this one. Mercy's going to fall into the trap, but she's not dying. As Mauga is not shooting at her. And eventually, Krusty Krushers going to take this thing. Only took them one fight. Now all they got to do is push it a little bit farther, and they will have this series victory against MicroFish. A 3-1 Krusty Krushers win. They did drop that Rialto. Has not been smooth sailings, though. As MicroFish have given them a run for their money. Just not quite doing enough, though. Mauga gonna go in a little deep here. Bap gonna go down. Genji gonna be able to remove the Mercy. So a trade happening here. However, looks like MicroFish are actually on the winning end of these trades, so will be a little bit longer of a hold here. We'll see if MicroFish can do anything with that. However, Tracer just randomly falling to the Roadhog Pigpen. Could be a little bit of a disaster. Bap is on his way back, though. Tracer should... Well, okay, Junkrat's already gone. This is not good at all for MicroFish now. Mauga probably going to go down here. Genji getting very low. He's going to fall, and that will probably just be it. In fact, that will just be it. So, Krusty Krushers take a 3-1 victory here against MicroFish. MicroFish put up one heck of a fight, but not able to get the job done here today. We will see them later in this week. Goodbye.